The wiper blades slapped a tired rhythm against the glass. Slap, slap, slap. Each sound felt like a punch to the gut. Elias gripped the steering wheel tight, knuckles white. Outside, the rain fell like a curtain made of needles. It had been raining for days, or maybe just hours. Time blurred on the road. His truck rolled heavy and slow. Kilometers of dark asphalt stretched ahead, then disappeared into the gray rain. The air inside was cold, damp. The heater fought back, but a chill stayed deep in his bones. It wasn't just the weather. It was the empty seat beside him. Always empty now. 3 years. It felt like yesterday. The same rain, that same slick black road. He saw her face sometimes in the splash of headlights on the wet ground. Sarah, his daughter. Her smile bright as the sun on a good day. Her hair like spun gold. And then the fear. The wide, terrified eyes just before. Slap, slap, slap. The wipers kept time with his heart, a slow, heavy drum. He blinked hard, too tired. Sleep deprivation was a killer out here, makes you see things, hear things. The radio was off. Too much noise. Just the rain and the truck's low rumble. But sometimes the wind whistling around the cab sounded like a whisper. A little girl's voice, faint and far away. "Daddy." Elias shook his head. No, just the wind. Just his mind playing tricks. It always did on nights like this. Nights when the rain matched that night. He looked in the rearview mirror. Just the dark trailer behind him. But for a second, just a flash. Did he see a small shape in the back? A pale face looking out? No. The rain on the glass, that's all. Reflections playing tricks. The road curved. Tall, dark trees crowded the edge. Their wet branches clawed at the sky. One tree up ahead seemed bigger, older, twisted branches reaching out like skeletal hands. It looked oddly familiar. He squinted. It was that tree, the big oak, the one by the bend, the one... His breath hitched. No, that tree was miles back. He'd passed it hours ago. It couldn't be here. He slowed the truck. The rain hammered down harder now, a deafening roar on the roof. The whispers weren't just wind anymore. They were louder, closer, high-pitched like a child crying. "Why, Daddy? Why?" Elias covered his ears for a second, eyes squeezed shut. "Stop it," he muttered. "Just the rain, just my head." When he opened his eyes, the tree was still there, right by the roadside, looming. And at the base of the tree, something moved. A splash of color against the dark ground. Red. A small red jacket. He froze. His heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic bird trying to escape. He knew that jacket. He bought it for her birthday. A small figure stood beside the tree, facing away from him. Tiny shoulders slumped. Sarah. "Sarah?" he whispered, his voice thick with terror and disbelief. He slammed on the brakes. The truck screeched, the trailer groaning behind it. It slid a little on the wet road. He didn't care. He stared. The figure turned slowly. Her face, pale, wet with rain or tears. Her eyes. They weren't bright like he remembered. They were dark hollows in the gloom. And her mouth, it was open slightly, but no sound came out. Just the whispers filled the air now, louder than the rain, accusing. "You left me." His hands shook so hard he could barely hold the wheel. This wasn't real. This was a dream, a nightmare brought on by exhaustion and guilt. He looked away for a second, breathing hard. Just rain, just the road. He looked back. She was closer, standing in the middle of his lane, small, frail, blocking his way. He had to go around. He couldn't hit her again. He looked to the left, the right, nothing but the dark road, the rain, and the looming tree. He tried to inch the truck forward, steering slightly to the side, but she didn't move. She just stood there, those dark eyes locked on him. Then the scene around her changed. The rain faded slightly, replaced by a blinding flash of white light. The big rig wasn't moving anymore. Around the tree, the road seemed different. Twisted metal lay scattered. Headlights still glowed weakly from a crushed car. The smell of gasoline and wet earth filled the cab. Elias looked around his truck. It wasn't a truck anymore. It was the inside of his old sedan. The one from that night. The passenger seat was empty, but for a split second he saw her again. Sarah, sitting there looking out the side window, her smile bright. Then she turned to him, her eyes wide with sudden terrible fear. He looked back at the road. Sarah was still there, standing by the tree, but she wasn't looking at him in the sedan. She was looking past him, at the twisted wreck, at the driver trapped inside. A sudden bone-deep cold washed over Elias. He wasn't feeling cold from the rain. He felt nothing. He looked down at his hands gripping the steering wheel. They weren't his hands, not solid. They were shimmering, see-through. He looked in the driver's side window reflection. The face staring back was pale, gaunt, eyes wide with eternal horror. It wasn't the tired face of the trucker Elias. It was the face of the man who died right here 3 years ago. He wasn't driving away from that night. He was driving back to it. Every single time the rain fell like this, every single time he saw the tree, the ghost on the road wasn't just Sarah. He was the ghost too, trapped on this endless rainy stretch, forced to relive the moment he lost her, forever haunted by the little girl waiting by the wreck he created. His punishment wasn't death, it was the drive. The rain never stopped, and neither did the drive back to that moment. If this story gave you chills, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more terrifying tales.